In Diversity, Technology, and Composition, Honoring Students' Multimodal Home Places, Christine Sadia outlines the pitfalls of homogeneous perspectives and teaching techniques regarding technology and newly emerging multimedia tools. Sadia argues that instructors must not only teach students how to use these tools, but to proactively engage in students' exploration into built-in biases, assumptions, and problems inherent in multimedia when the student's perspective is not part of the dominant culture. To accommodate this exploration, the author defines what she calls the multimodal home place, a parameter of individual values, beliefs, experiences, and rhetorical goals as it relates to being outside of and interacting with the hegemonic norm. Through use of this multimodal home place, Sadia asserts, instructors and composers can bridge cultural gaps and affect the evolution of future technology. Sadia stresses that an individual's home place is more than a physical space. It is the student's entire life experience and aspirations up until this point in time. Most importantly, it is not only what the student knows, but includes their perceptions of normal and right. We live in the information age. That information needed to strive in society is accessed through technology. The ability to access, utilize, and create within these multimodal technologies is the premium cultural capital within the world today. Instructors, therefore, Sadia posits, should recognize the dichotomy between the white stream and minoritized groups, thereby creating teaching techniques to bridge the cultural gaps that exist. Offering a different perspective in the discussion of minoritized groups and technology, author Michelle Wright explores the effects of technology on Africans and African Americans throughout history, along with European revisionist practices of ignoring or excluding non-white contributions to technology and progress throughout history from the history books. In accordance with Sadia, Wright asserts that technology arrives with its own values, assumptions, and biases. Wright notes, our main obstacle is not the black computer illiteracy that so many bourgeois writers and academics bemoan, rather the strategic illiteracy deployed by those who wish to bemoan lazy black communities too closely tied to their primitive past. Technology, we are told, comes from the independent genius such as Bill Gates or Steve Jobs, the same way we are told that America began with George Washington and Thomas Jefferson, the same way we are told that Abraham Lincoln wrote the Emancipation Proclamation and suddenly the evil Southerners freed their black slaves. While Sadia's concerns regarding minoritized groups are certainly real, and her desire to build pedagogies with and not for students is commendable, it assumes a societal progress that we have not yet attained. Before we can bring culture to technology, we must bring technology to culture. The breakthroughs that have enabled a world of ubiquitous selfies, visual shorthand, and instant communication is being developed by people who have been exposed to state-of-the-art educational technology since early childhood, some beginning in preschool, while the majority of non-white urban children have not been afforded the same opportunities. The issue of racial and class disparity in educational opportunities has been explored extensively by Jonathan Kazol, author of the 2005 book, The Shame of the Nation, The Restoration of Apartheid Schooling in America. The creation of a cycle of poverty begins early. The Board of Education in New York spent approximately $8,000 a year on an inner-city third-grade student in 1998. The same student, moved to a nearby middle-class white suburb, would have an educational subsidy a third more than that, and a student in a wealthy district could have as much as $10,000 more spent on them annually by their respective board than the inner-city child. This disparity in capital results in a disparity in education, resources, and social opportunities to advance. Sarah Heidenbrink Bruno is working towards lessening that head start. In her article, The Play's the Thing, Lessons from Preschool Story Times for College Classrooms, she outlines techniques she uses within an early childhood education program that works towards preschool literacy and kindergarten readiness. It is just such programs that are lacking within the majority of inner-city schools. Bruno's advice to college professors to invite students on a picture walk and asking students questions about books such as, who is the author? What does the author do? Do you think the author is the same as the illustrator? No? Well, then what does the illustrator do? Bruno is remarkable less for innovative college classrooms, but that such techniques engaging children's imagination and critical thinking are being taught in a free preschool program at all. Programs such as the one that Bruno manages to needs to be the rule, not the exception. This is the only way that Causal's assembly line to the service sector reality can be rectified. The creation of a multimodal home place, as Sadia admits, does not occur in a vacuum. Beyond the vast economical inequities, one must look at the social and societal atmosphere students create the spaces in. Why are we so shocked when our human representations of technology, save for a few Apple computer billboards, are overwhelmingly white and male? Why are we so shocked when our mythological history of technology begins in the West without the mathematical and scientific advances produced by non-white civilization? Beginning from a student's first forays into formal learning, they must be taught not that they may join the technology revolution, but they, through generations before them, are already an integral part of it.